Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of The Problem With. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing Dead by Daylight. Now, Dead by Daylight is not a new game by any stretch of the imagination. This is actually a game that I was playing about 3 years ago, and I stopped due to the toxicity and the way that the game was being played. Unfortunately, those issues are still present within the game today. They're not as bad, I will say that. We have had more good games than we have had bad. However, the way that the blood point system works and the way that it interacts with everything else in the game, i.e. leveling up and being able to progress with the game and get new items in the game, instead of it being a true to the core asymmetrical survival game, what you end up with is a bit of a farming simulator where you will find that some groups of survivors and killers will often work with the opposition in order to get as many blood points as possible. What this means is that a rank 1 killer or a rank 1 survivor might not actually be that good at the game, it's just that they've had a few lucky matches where they've worked with the opposition to get as many points as possible. To me, that is wrong. That is not how the game should be played, and the blood point system is the real core of that. Now, the blood point system, you may ask, is basically the system in which you do actions in the game, for example, like setting a trap like I just have, and you will see in the left-hand side of the screen, set trap plus 100. That means I've just earned 100 blood points. Now, the more blood points you get, the more things on the blood web that you can then unlock. Great, you say. Unfortunately, it's also linked in with rank. You need to hit a certain amount of points in order for you to rank up, and as a result, people will just, as I say, sit and farm points. They will taunt the killer. They will not really go for the fastest extraction possible, and it really detracts from what the game is kind of about. It makes you feel like the game isn't what it was designed to be, and the blood point system, unfortunately, is at the key of that. There are a few ways that you could get around this. Namely, one of the things that we came up in stream with today was to have a timer. One of the things that they have recently added since I last played is actually a timer countdown thing for when the Jennies have all been propped and the door opens. You now have a set amount of time to get out. What I propose is a timer for the entire match. A timed match would mean that people are less likely to sit for an hour to farm and would more likely just get on with the game and get it done. The other way you could do it is to just take out the blood points entirely, but it is such an integral part of the game right now, I don't think that it would work to the benefit of the game at all. Another problem with the game is the loading times and the lobby queues. You're looking at around 5 to 10 minutes per lobby queue if you want to be a killer. This is simply not good enough. It's partly due to the fact that it is now quite an old game, as I've previously stated. As a result, there's not as many people playing before, but if you look on the numbers on Twitch and stuff, you'll find that it is actually still doing quite well. So that's kind of my take on the game, really. A couple of things that need fixing to make this game a bit more enjoyable. The lag spikes and stuff, if you're as a survivor and you are with a killer, if the killer is, not close to you, you can end up with quite bad lag spikes, but they have done a fair amount to change that. Optimization-wise, the game could be better. I'm having to play it on low right now to get it to play at a constant 60 frames per second whilst streaming and or recording. But other than that, it runs fairly smoothly. It runs a damn sight better than it did when it first came out. The biggest problem for me, though, is those blood points, and they do need fixing. So there you are, guys. That's my quick take on the Dead by Daylight game. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.